If you had done that as the Knicks, you are not in a position to continue to build with this roster and to add someone next year. It shouldn't be held against them that they didn't make that deal. They are in a much better position moving forward.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis for the Knick of Time Show, here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And if you didn't know, today is a very special day because our very own Miss MSG Queen herself, Miss Around the Horn, Miss ESPN First Take Takeover Queen Monica Mcnutt is in the building. Busting those shots for behind. All right. And I usually introduce the special guest last, but I couldn't hold that. I couldn't hold the excitement. So I went off the script today. Monica Mcnutt is introduced you first. But since you already know who she is, let me introduce my guys. First and foremost is my man from the YouTube channel across the street. I call him the Raw Metaphor. It's the Raw Hebrew Remnant. What's going on, Raw?
What's up, JL's KOT? Glad to be here, especially with the Queen.
Absolutely, especially with the Queen. Of course, you know, it's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. I ain't getting cut off today. I'm on my work laptop.
You gotta work laptop. Not getting cut off today. He got cut off during the Ian interview, Monica. It was tragic.
I couldn't miss his. I could not miss his Monica. I could not.
Good call. And shout out to my man, the Latin assassin, Mr. ESPN contributor, posting, toasting contributor, Lee Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
Man, proud to be here with the queen of all media. We got the people's champ in the house, ready to talk some Knicks, man.
Yo, eat it up, Monica. Eat it up, Monica. You go, oh my gosh. This, sit on the throne. Sit on your greatness. This is what it is right now, all right? Because I feel like ever since you got on First Take ESPN, I feel like we have like almost like, you know, when like Barack Obama got elected, and it's like what type of situation? It was like, yes, like, explain our point of view.
That's funny. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, JL. This guy's all dope to chat with y'all. And I will say from the bottom of my heart, even before we started doing First Take and those shows, like the Knicks fans have showed mad love. So I appreciate y'all. It's been a fun ride for sure so far.
Yeah, man. You adopted it into the Knicks fan for the rest of your entire life. You're not going to be going to go anywhere. I kind of feel like you can probably go anywhere in New York and get like free drinks right now. Can you?
New York is show man.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that. All right, but let's get into it. Let's get into the talk. So first for me, like as a fan base, right? We all kind of criticize Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks offense. And me, I'm kind of surprised, and I know a lot of people are too, that the Knicks are a top 5 offense in the league right now. So I know you with your basketball expertise, I want to know what's your thoughts on how the Knicks even got to this level. And also, even with our success, would you change anything about our offense? Because, you know, the perception is ISO heavy, and we never really thought ISO heavy offense would work for us, but for now it's working for us.
Well, I think there's a little detail that people overlook that that I believe has played a big factor in getting to a top 5 offense in the league. And frankly, y'all, that's continuity, right? Like, I can remember the start of last season, I had the Bucks in Miami. And one of the stories that we were highlighting in the broadcast was Bobby Portis, right? And I'm like, yo, what's the secret? You know, what's up with Milwaukee? And he's like, I've just been able to be here long enough to get it, right? And so I think at this point, 3 years in, you have Tibbs that's been in place. You've got 2 pieces of that core in RJ and Julius. And you've got Jalen with the basketball IQ that is off the charts and is able to insert seamlessly into this offense and make everybody better. Now, those are the two bigger pieces in an offense, but you look at the growth from Quick this year.
Yeah.
You look at Mitch in terms of wanting to take more ownership of rebounding. I love he said he wanted to get better grades in defensive rebounding, according to Coach Tibbs. Like, you just look down the roster, and it's a bunch of guys that have had the opportunity to get to know one another, good, bad, and ugly, right?
Yeah.
But at least everybody's on the same page in terms of what the system is. And so, to me, you've just seen the benefit of that. Folks getting to know one another as teammates, getting to know a system as coaches, and figuring out where they best fit.
Okay. All right, I'll take that answer. I'll definitely take that answer. Would you feel like do you feel like is there anything you would change within yourself in the way that we run our offense? Because I know I kind of feel like you in particular, well, not even just you, but I feel like certain people feel like there needs to be some type of more off-ball action when the Knicks run their offense.
I mean, JL, it's like we could get out a napkin and draw our favorite plays, but you also got to understand your personnel, right? Like my favorite thing that this team has done, and it's kind of shifted this year, is look for easy baskets. I thought in the beginning of the season, maybe transition was getting away from them. It was a little bit too much emphasis on trying to get out and run.
Yeah.
It looked a little frazzled. It wasn't productive. They've been able to find the sweet spot in terms of what pushing and scoring efficiently looks like for them for those easy baskets. Julius and Jalen are our centerpieces. They've been fantastic. They both should have been all-stars. They deserve NBA awards at the end of the season. And right now, their strength is ISO heavy. So I'm not about to pick that apart, right? Like, you got to play to your personnel. I think Quick and Grimes in particular have done a tremendous job of finding the seams, right?
Yeah.
So that Julius doesn't have to pick up his dribble and be stuck. He can find a shooter, similar to what we saw him build with Reggie Bullock a season ago. So no, keep looking for easy baskets in transition, because we know the nature of a playoff series is just to be bogged down in the shot clock is just going to be a tough day at the office. But for me, keep looking for easy baskets in transition, find one another, and look for second chance opportunities. Like, those are the things that I think this particular group, as constructed, needs to continue to do. And of course, you know, human nature is not always to hit the mark, so it ebbs and flows a little bit. But for the most part, I think they've done that this year.
Yeah, I feel like the Knicks kind of stay on that wavelength and keep the ball in more of the guards' hands. Not that Randall can't make some. But I like that even when Brunson is down, IQ is the one who has the ball in his hands a lot. And they kind of mix and match with Randall. So I feel like if we keep people in more than natural roles for long periods of time, personally, I just think we'll be fine. And I think God IQ has grown this season. Really.
He's been incredible. Lee, what were you saying?
I said I laughed at the beginning of the season because I was saying 50 burger to the guys, and
Facts.
you know, I had high expectations for this team based on the Jalen Brunson addition. I really feel like this team's really close to contention. I think we're a piece away. What piece, like positionally, point guard to center, do you think the Knicks are going to target this summer? And what kind of skill set do you see that player having?
Oh, that's a great question, Lee. And, you know, I got to be honest. I thought this team would be much improved this year, but I wasn't sure how it would translate, just because I thought the East was going to be the juggernaut that it's proven to be. And so they've exceeded my expectations. It's been an incredible ride. As far as pieces goes, and I think every team in the league just about, maybe outside of Golden State, although they stink on defense this year, at least on the road, I still think you're looking for that pure 3-and-D guy. We haven't had somebody that is the knockdown shooter that you, and maybe Quentin continues to evolve to this guy. But when I say the pure 3-and-D NBA prototype, I'm talking like the 6'6" plus wing dude.
Yeah.
That's
Jeremy
quick,
Grant.
twitchy, that's going to knock down threes. And like I said, maybe Quentin evolves to this, because I think he's been tremendous on defense this year. And you also see a growth in his game. But to me, if I could take the pieces we have, right, and combine it, it'd be like Josh, Evan, plus 2 inches, like in totality, like that kind of guy. That's
Frankenstein.
Like you know what I mean? Like just the pure NBA prototype dude. Because I still think there's room for this team to speed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it is so impressive what Jalen and Julius have been able to do. But again, sometimes, and y'all know, y'all watch, sometimes you watch and you're like, this just takes so much to get a basket sometimes, you know? And so I think somebody that helps, again, to continue to open up the floor can go get a basket in the same, not in the same way that Jalen does, because Jalen can go get a basket, but like, maybe it's not as taxing. So I just think of like a prototype wing guy with some athleticism and the ability to defend.
Cool, we on the same page.
Yep.
Monica, look, thanks again for coming on. I just wanted to, I myself are very impressed with your basketball IQ, your basketball mind, and I wanted to know, when you played at Georgetown, did something that you took from your experience there, or maybe before, or a coach that shaped how you see the game? Because quite frankly, they have a lot of pretty faces on TV that don't know basketball, but you're a pretty face that does. So I just want to know where you get your basketball IQ, how you see the game from.
Well, I appreciate that, Rob. Gosh, that's a good question. A lot of it is my playing experience. In college, obviously, we were a transition team. We shot threes. We hung our hat on defense. I believe, like my junior year, we led the country in turnover to assist ratio and forced the most amount of steals. And so for me, I always get really excited about teams that look for easy baskets and can defend. But then beyond that, like, I was at Georgetown when the guys were running to Princeton. So there was a lot of like basketball conversations in terms of picking up actions, calling out defenses. But I think, again, having played for a squad that like hung their head on the defensive side of the ball, I know how much communication that requires, like how much on-court chemistry that requires. And so when I see teams that have that kind of flavor, flair, and connectivity, like that just sort of jumps out to me. But overall, like, I just think it's a dope team game. And if you truly are a star in your role, understand the assignment, so to speak, in terms of your team, and are willing to make it fit, like, that's when teams are fantastic. And we're so fortunate here in New York to have stars, but also just league-wide. Like, the talent is off the charts.
Yeah, it is. You're from Maryland, the Maryland area, right? Did you know about Emmanuel Quickley before he came to the Knicks?
You know what? It's crazy because honestly, my boyfriend the other day said that Quick played in a summer league down in our area. And I'm like, no, he didn't. In my head, he was from North Carolina, y'all, till about 2 weeks ago. I don't know why. I was like, no, he didn't. He was like, yes, he did. Like, Quick is from the crib. What's wrong with you? And I was like, is he really? So no, I didn't. But then, like, when he said it and I started digging back and stuff, I'm like, yo, Quick is from the crib. Now, he's extended from the crib. Like, he probably did. He played more like pickup and stuff in Baltimore. We're closer to the DC side, but he did not. And so now when I see his sister and them in the garden, I'll be like,
your home, them to get that journalism MS. So I think like you're getting too popular, Monica. We may